So I do wear a lot of hats. Of course, my profession, my career is to be a sports medicine physician, a doctor, team doctor, but I do a lot of other things. And I think that people are often somewhat, maybe off-put by the term physician or doctor. They can be a little professional, a little bit stuffy. That's not me. I'm an average, everyday guy with potentially above average ambition. I do have a laundry list of hats that I wear, and I think that the one that I consider the most valuable in my life is that of a dad and a husband. I'm a family man. That comes first. That's my calling in life. My career as a physician does require a lot of time and energy. It takes years of training, medical school, residency, fellowship. Those things are all in critical importance. But above and beyond that, there's the early morning meetings, the late night meetings, the chart closures, of course the patient visits, coverage of sports. I take care of semi-pro baseball, semi-pro hockey, multiple high schools, professional athletes, Olympic athletes, MMA fighters. I've worked with UFC, I've worked with Bellator. It's Justin Boots. I'm a Justin Boots pro rodeo sponsored physician, so I cover rodeos when they come to town. And then outside of that scope, as a leader in the community, I work with the Idaho High Schools Association as their chief medical officer. I work at the Mecca Gym as their chief medical officer. I help with their personal trainers so that people can have a physician's view on their training programs, their nutrition, to help with their biomechanics or whatever injuries they may have had. I also work as the state deputy commissioner for the Idaho Athletics Commission, so I oversee combat sports in our states. That requires me to write policies to make sure that the athletes are protected, to make sure that the medical clearance is appropriate and consistent across the board. I work for St. Luke's Concussion Clinic, so I'm a concussion doctor as well, and there's a lot that goes into that. Concussions are a very real problem in the athletic world that can be treated inappropriately if they're not done in a continuous manner. And then, of course, I'm involved with youth sports. I'm a coach. I coach flag football. I love coaching. I do some nutrition and exercise coaching on the side as well for clients. So I've been a personal trainer for 20 years. There are a lot of those things that I do that are just kind of average, everyday American things that other people do as well. And I think that helps me to understand my patients and to build rapport with them and be relatable with them because, on the weekends, I'm just the coach. At night when I come home, I'm just dad. So the sports that I've participated in throughout life growing up, I loved track and field and hockey and football, boxing, mountain biking, snowboarding, motorcycles, anything where I can go fast and there's a certain sense of danger and potentially a risk that I could get hurt. I like that stuff. That is enjoyable to me. Through high school, I played a bunch of sports. When I got into college, I had intention to play football at university. I had a career-ending back injury that derailed my dreams, or so I thought. I was able to recover and heal from that injury, and then I actually walked on to the cheerleading team at Utah State and got a scholarship to be a cheerleader. Not something I had ever anticipated that I would do, but ended up being a very choice experience in my life to develop me as a human. And that was a phenomenal opportunity that opened many doors for me, which actually helped me to get into medical school. Following that, I got into bodybuilding and powerlifting, as many former athletes do, because as you transition from high school sports and then university, college sports, not everybody's going to make it into the pros. And then people, I think, transition to more of the fitness type sports, things like CrossFit and bodybuilding, powerlifting. So I've been involved with bodybuilding and powerlifting for years, competed, and really enjoy that. And at this point, I think I've transitioned more to enjoying the teaching aspect of it, helping people build their bodies, whether that be for a competition or for maybe just in life in general. And I still really love the outdoor sports, things like mountain biking and snowboarding and dirt biking. Those things are all very, very much a part of my life. And I've always really enjoyed fitness and sports and athletics, but life gets busy for everybody. And I'm not to be put on a pedestal. I'm an average, everyday guy, just like everybody else who's probably listening to this video. It takes dedication, it takes commitment, and it takes a certain level of planning to make this all work. I mean, I've got a long day at work. I've got family responsibilities, and I've got these other responsibilities that I've mentioned before. but I've prioritized fitness as part of my day, part of my life. You just have to make it happen. In residency, I had to work 24, 26, 28-hour shifts straight. I mean, I couldn't leave to go to the gym. I had to stay in the hospital that whole time. But I still got my workouts in. I would go work out in the stairwell. Push-ups, stairs, jumping jacks. I mean, you can find creative ways to do it. I think it just comes down to commitment. Motivation, inspiration, those are fleeting. They will come and go. But commitment and dedication, that wins 10 out of 10 times. And that's something that everyone can develop, and they can build that in their own way throughout life. It does take some time, but once you get to that point, I think it's an admirable goal and it's an attainable goal. Commitment and dedication. As I've aged, I'm creeping right up into my 40s now. I've recognized and realized that my body is changing. Things that didn't hurt as much before hurt more now. And I see that in clinic. There are a lot of patients who come in to talk to me that are saying, hey, doc, when I was in my 20s, I was hell on wheels, but I'm in my 40s now and things are slowing down. I still have it here. I still want to have it here. I still want to perform in the gym. I still want to be able to run and gun with my kids, playing soccer, playing flag football, whatever it may be. And a big part of that comes down to understanding the aging process. As we age, our hormones change, testosterone decreases, estrogen increases, throughout time. Nature is not kind to us. Like, we are not intended to live forever. And there is a degradative experience that everyone at some point in their life will feel. Might happen in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 80s, who knows? It's different for everyone, but I'm starting to feel it now as I'm creeping into my 40s. My body is changing. Things that I used to be able to do without a second thought are now things that I think twice about. And nutrition plays a huge role in maximizing your performance and your output and your outcome. And my goal in the clinic when I help patients is to help them optimize their health, optimize their wellness, optimize their performance. Wherever they're at, I try to meet them where they're at and help them to the next level, whatever that level may be. They simply may want to improve their sleep, their feelings of energy throughout the day. They may want to improve their athletic performance in the gym. All of those things are great and reasonable goals. They're the same goals that I have. I have the same goals that most people have. I want to be happy. I want to have good relationships with my family and my kids. I want to be able to be a productive member of society. And I still want to be, the American badass out there in the gym. I still want that. I still want to be those things. And I'm no specimen, but I've been able to maintain a certain level of physical ability just because I've been dedicated to my nutrition, to my recovery, to my rest, to my relationships, to my career. And I think having the right supplements are really paramount to my success because it helps me to maintain accountability, number one. I'm invested in it. And I think it helps me to optimize my nutrition. A supplement is simply that, adding to. So I want to make sure that my nutrition is on point, that my exercise routine is on point, but I'm doing everything I can to maximize that by including supplements in a way that helps me to perform at my best. Whatever that may be, our best will change through time. Your best today is not going to be your best that it was 10 years ago, nor will it be the same 10 years from now. But that's okay. That's part of life. And understanding that and having a gracious relationship with Father Time and Mother Nature, I think, is important. You don't want to fight the clock. You sort of want to accept it in a way that you're doing it on your terms. And I think that that's the message that I try to send to people when I chat with them.